This is the young people to beg as much as we have a lot of that. Did you agree with that? So I want to formally welcome all of us here. Let's come to know the future of some. I want to let you know that we started in a GP and we started with the cultural class and let's check our work. So let's start with some by that. Thank you. evening and welcome to the 59th 59th anniversary and the 60th anniversary launch of our mother organization, the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana. I say mother organization because I know what I'm saying, so I'm a proud volunteer. Please give me clap it. Hello. Hello. BPH. Thank you so much. I want to officially call on one of volunteers to come and give us the opening prayer as we begin to start. I'm going to call on Neil Ofe. Please let's welcome him.
Thank you very much, Keisha. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for helping us. We did not place here only God to our choice. But it's by your will that we've been able to be here today to celebrate this milestone. Heavenly Father, we pray that whatever we talk about here, whatever we decide, whatever that goes on here and goes to the future, we pray that Lord lead us. Continue to be with us, that all our choices be by your will. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Neil Feng. Ladies and gentlemen, and all dignitaries present here, as we begin to set the ball rolling for the launch of our 59th anniversary, we want to move on quickly to call on the person who is currently leading and also carrying the affairs of our mother organization, the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana. I want you to join me in welcoming. Okay. Thank you very much. Right. So as I was saying earlier, we want to call on our very own youth president to come and warmly welcome us as we set the tone. We want to welcome Miss Marilyn Obusu, the young president, to welcome us officially. Please let's give it up to her. She's our president. President of the president. Then short. Sorry. Thank you very much, all of us, for being here, first of all. Madam Chairperson, distinguished guests, council members of PPHE, development partners, fellow young people, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Youth Action Movement Ghana, which is the volunteer youth wing of PPHE, I am honored to join you to the 59th public lecture and the launch of the PPHE 60th anniversary celebrations. For young people across Ghana, PPHE is more than an organization. It is a trusted partner that has created spaces for some of us to learn, speak up, access accurate information, and become advocates for sexual and reproductive health and rights. YAM represents young people who are committed to driving positive change. As volunteers, we work to ensure that young people are not only consulted, but are actively involved in addressing the issues that affect ourselves. These issues, such as health, such as our safety, such as our dignity, define who we are. Young advocates for young people advocate on the rights on their sexual and reproductive health, especially the challenges we face as Ghanaians. Young people need accurate information, safe spaces, confidential and youth-friendly services, and meaningful opportunities to participate in decision-making that affect us. We must challenge stigma. We must also challenge misinformation on our sexual and reproductive health, and we must also challenge sexual gender-based violence. And as it stands now, what we also see is the technology-facilitated gender-based violence, which is violence done online, and YAM is championing. before I end, because I didn't talk your sister, I'm not talking to you. So before I end, and I want to call on all governments, partners, our parents, our educators, our traditional leaders, our religious leaders, our health professionals, our civil society organizations, and our development partners to continue investing in young people such as myself, not merely as beneficiaries, but as leaders and partners in national development. On that note, I want to say congratulations to the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana on this remarkable milestone. May the next 60 years bring even better impact, stronger partnerships, and more empowered young people across the country. Thank you and God bless you all. Thank you very much, Madam President. Right. We'd like to acknowledge the presence of some few dignitaries. We have in our midst the Ghana Health Service, the Family Health Division, Dr. Doris Amate Fio, Programs Manager for Family Planning. We also have, I was hoping we clap. We have in our midst Ghana, represented by Mr. Albert Ben, forgive me. We also have NACP, Ghana Health Service, Dr. Elizabeth Ajuri. We also have a rep from Japan, Mr. Charles Kapui Aglanya. We have a rep from St. Ghana, Mr. Benjamin Rambo Wade. We also have from FHL Africa, we have Miss NTA Patience. And we have in our midst Cyber Security Authority, Mr. Jonathan Letu. And we have in our midst Famanova Limited, Mr. David Kuchi. And we will do well to acknowledge everyone's presence in this great progress. Ladies and gentlemen, at a very critical gathering like this, we need someone with experience, with understanding of the issues that concern young people, and of course, the subject for discussion. And so I'm honored to introduce the very chairperson for this August gathering. She is a development practitioner with over a decade of experience in policy advocacy, program management, and multi-stakeholder coordination. She is currently the national coordinator of the Ghana CSO's platform on SDGs, coordinating a network of more than 570 civil society organizations and facilitating collaboration among civil society organizations, governments, development partners, and the private sector. Her work spans through public health, gender equality, menstrual health, nutrition, the Sustainable Development Goals, and citizen accountability. She is a development partner, passionate about young people. She holds an LLM in international trade and postgraduate certificates in research methods and is nearing completion of her Masters of Public Health program at the University of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, with all humility, help me welcome and appreciate Miss Lovely Kunedu Esiedu as our chair. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I believe I'll be nervous, so before I give you my acceptance or rejection speech, let me share a little bit of a joke. My joke could be boring, but please bear with me just to cover my head. So, sometime in COVID, I was at home and I have 3 kids, and my 3 kids were all at home because schools were closed. And I had a 2-year-old who was fixated about washing his backside. You know what I mean? When we go to the bathroom and then I finish washing him, people like, Mama, I didn't wash my buttocks. And he keeps playing this trick on me, and I'll wash it for him. And then one day, I purposely in my heart, I was not going to forget. And so I tried. This boy will not
play his pranks on me today. This boy will not play his pranks on me today. So I finished washing him, washed his bottles. I remembered to wash the bottles very well. And when I finished, he went like, "Honey, you didn't wash my bottles." And he sounded little. So I called him, "Hey, little boy, when I was washing your bottles, where were you?" "I was not there." Please, let us all be here today and let us enjoy the program, the lecture, and pick one or two lessons from it. The Executive Director for PPAG, Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, the Youth President, the National President, representatives from Ghana Health Service, civil society organizations, CAMFED, JPIGO, Send Ghana, and state institutions, the National AIDS Control Program, and an international partner, JPIGO, and all present ladies and gentlemen. I am highly honored to be chosen today to chair such an event. When the call came through, I asked myself, why me? Because for me, I am like a member or a staff of PPAG. In the last 4 years, we've been everywhere on the streets of Accra, in communities, doing one service or another, partnering with organizations such as Send Ghana, NORSAC, WELDAF, implementing an Oxfam intervention. I have also been with PPAG when we championed the removal of taxes on sanitary pads, which has been one of our remarkable landmark historic evidence of an effective, well-coordinated advocacy initiative. Today, there is zero VAT on our sanitary pads, which are locally produced, because the collective efforts of organizations like PPAG, together with all other civil society organizations, implemented SRHR, yielded a positive results in the ears of the lawmakers. I have also been with PPAG just earlier this year, discussing how we could support the government to ensure that our domestic violence fund has enough funds to support victims or survivors of domestic violence, and also undertake several initiatives to reduce the numbers that we even hear or know about the issues of domestic violence. And so for me, PPAG is just as my organization as it is yours. Even though I am not a volunteer, I believe that in my line of duty, PPAG has engaged me in ways that makes me feel special, that I am committed to the development of the youth, protecting them, safeguarding, and then also promoting their very existence and contributing to their development in its entirety. If today PPAG is 59, looking forward to marking its 60th anniversary, and I have been called upon, I have no doubt that PPAG has done the right. I am young. There are many people here who wear many big hats, and I may have a small hat, but I accept the responsibility in humility. As I put the microphone down, I would like to draw our attention to one very important and critical principle that PPAG has upheld all these years, the principle of volunteerism. Many or almost all of members of PPAG are volunteers. And when I ask PPAG, they tell me PPAG is a volunteer organization. One hard truth is that Ghana as it is today, volunteerism is not institutionalized. We do volunteerism unofficially. So for an organization like PPHE to institutionalize volunteerism and build all its intervention, service provision, community engagement, advocacy initiative around volunteerism is an epitome of a good leadership service that this country and many other countries can emulate. I believe we can give a resounding round of applause to 2026 marks the year of international volunteering. 2026, this year, marks the year of international volunteering. So while PPHE commemorates its 59th anniversary, it is also important to commemorate or celebrate its ardent principle of volunteerism and invite more young people, everybody in general, including my own self today, to commit to the principle of volunteerism so that together we can develop our nation. On this note, I wish PPHE a happy 59th. We look forward to 60 years and beyond, and humbly accept this responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, do enjoy the lecture and take one note from it.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. PPHE. PPHE. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I want to agree with you that volunteerism is what has brought some of us where we are today, and all thanks to PPHE. And we are so proud to celebrating this very milestone with PPHE today. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to recognize the presence of few dignitaries here amongst us. In our midst, we have rep from NDPC, Madam Angelina Koduanyana, Executive Director. We also have Fortitude Child Support Foundation, Madam Evelyn Tria. We have a rep from Ghana AIDS Commission, Madam Dorcas Nyam, Coordinator. Then our very own chairperson, Madam Leplin K. Isieju, the CSO Platform and SDG Coordinator. Please let's give it up for ourselves. And of course, we have you young people seated here. Please give that for yourselves. Okay, we are excited about the progress we are making so far on this agenda. Before we move on to the lecture, we'd like to hear a spoken word from one angelic young person among us, Miss Angel Kujo. Please let's welcome her. Ago. Let me ask you a question. Why do we hear whispers instead of the bold talk? Whispers about Amaswo girls, whispers about Atrebipu, and about that little girl over there. Because she came into the family way too soon. Did you say too soon? Oh, too soon. But why? What happened? Who failed? No. What failed? You see, we tell these stories day in, day out. And of course, before long or before now, we've heard the song. Aketesia baby one call way you know I Aketesia one call way you know I. Oh, you don't know the song? That's all. So this is the song we're singing. And of course, you hear people shouting, I don't know before we see the long stomach. And so what happened? What I'm asking again, what actually happened? Such that the system is okay. And all we hear are whispers. Whispers that are even louder than the shouts. See, a lot of things are happening in those little corners where they are blaming poverty. A blame that is so lame and yet has so much weight. And in that time, you get people now shouting, are you fro? People block roads. And that is when mere little girls also feel proud because they say they are not killing. Because after all, we too, we can produce. Oh yes, we can produce. Don't worry about caring and planning. No. And I mean, simple. And so this story continues. And we kept shouting, Abba, Semi Cho, look at your hand. Wahala don't come to town. And we even called it an epidemic. And yet we hear the bells toll, telling all about knowledge because the people need to know. And even for the little girls who are kicking around, they also need to know because they have the right to know that. Reproductive health is also part of total health. Oh, yes, it is part. That is not something we can neglect. And we still need young people who can make wise decisions and parents who can plan. Because pregnancy is not an accident where we have to call the police for them to bring in their tips and their undesirable tips. So on and on, the train is moving. 3 points for us, 60 solid points for we mortals, for putting it where it matters, for hitting where it matters, and for pushing through the blocks. And so come, let us say, Aniko, to those who know that it matters to drill down this knowledge for our health, for our well-being, and of course, Ebeyeji, Ebahi, because we know we will never relate. Thank you.
PPAG, Central Health Quality Lab.
Please don't get bored because that's our slogan for the day. Anyway, before we move on, I would like to find out from anyone. Do you know the theme for this gathering? You have the answer. What's the theme for this gathering? Please. Louder.
Empowering others.
Again.
Healthier lives, stronger communities, empowering others.
Do you think the theme align? Do you think the theme align?
Yes.
Do you think the theme align?
Yes.
It aligns, and I'm really glad and humbled to be called upon to introduce our keynote address or our guest speaker for the keynote address. Our guest speaker began his journey with PPAG as way back as a young volunteer. He returned to the same organization as a communication strategist, academic and development practitioner with over 2 decades of experience across journalism, public relations, information technology, and international development. He is a general manager, external communication at Electricity Company of Ghana, where he leads traditional and digital communication strategy to strengthen public engagement and institutional transparency. His work with PPAG started at the grassroots from 1996. He coordinated the PPAG Youth Center at the Ayalolo cluster of schools in Greater Accra, now known as Young and Wise. He ran daily youth programs and counsels young people as a trained peer educator. He later served as a project assistant on the Young and Wise Adolescent Sexual and Reproductive Health Project, coordinating the Sex Wise radio broadcast, hotline counseling, and the distribution of educational materials. He helped shape PPAG's youth governance structure. He sat on the Greater Accra Program and Youth Committee, chaired the Youth Advisory Board of the Innovate Project, and joined the teams evaluating it in 2001. He was a pioneering member of Youth, Young and Wise, chaired committees under the Youth Advocacy Movement, and contributed to youth training manuals and research on behavioral change communication. His advocacy carried him beyond Ghana. He took part in IPPF Youth Working Groups meeting in London, New Delhi, and Nairobi. He chaired the African Youth Alliance Youth Advisory Board under the UNFPA and Pathfinder Partnership, and presented on behalf of participating youth countries at the IAM Annual Review meeting. Trainings and media work run through his records. He facilitated peer education training for West African AIDS Foundation and HIV and AIDS inter-service training for United States Peace Corps volunteers, and supported the National Youth Council Challenge CAP project based in Johns Hopkins University. He served as Program Officer for Media Relations at Child and Teen Focus, and produced and hosted youth radio programs on adolescent and youth sexual and reproductive health and rights. He is a former lecturer at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, and has taught at several universities, including the Ghana Institute of Journalism, the African University of Communication and Business, and the Wisconsin International University College. His service as the Information Center Department of the Ministry of Information, the Council of State, and other institutions grounded him in governance, communication, and public relations. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest speaker holds a PhD in communication from the University of South Africa. His other qualifications include an MA in energy law, an MS in defense and international politics, an MA in public relations, and an MBA in management information system, an MA in distance education and electronic learning, and postgraduate award in public administration and mass communication. He is an accredited member and an examiner at the Institute of Public Relations, Ghana, and facilitates training on artificial intelligence for communication. He returned to PPAG this evening, not as a lecturer, but as a volunteer who is passionate, who is dedicated to the growth and also the advancement of the association. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Charles Ni Ayeku APR. Please.
Thank you very much, and good evening. Madam Chair, President and members of the National Council of PPAG, Acting Executive Director, and staff of the association, partners from governments, and from the wider development community, NAME, and our religious leaders, colleagues from academia, from the health services, from the media, and from the private sector. Fellow volunteers, past and present, and I've learned that there's no such thing as a former volunteer. Nobody accepts the resignation letter. And I can see Dr. Bento and Mr. Joe here present, which means that even when they attempted writing the resignation letter as former volunteers, it wasn't accepted. And the young people sitting among us tonight, good evening once again. I have a story to tell, and it begins long before this room. Come with me to 1996. The place is the Alolo Class of Schools, where I was once a pupil. Late afternoon, classes have closed. The sun is yet to set. There's dust in the air and noise from the road. Inside the sports center run by PPAG, a young man in his early 20s, trying to look far more confident than he feels. the young man was me. I coordinated the PPA Youth Center there. You know it today by a better name, Young and Wise. Young people came every day. Some came for the community. Some came because a friend dragged them along. And some carried a question they held for weeks. A question they could not answer at school or in church. You could tell them apart by how they entered the room. The ones who came to play walking loud. The ones who came with a question stood near the door first. They looked around to see who was listening. Then they waited for the room to be empty. I was a trained peer educator. A young person talked to another young person in a language they both understand about matters adults prefer to avoid. I had my training, my materials, a folder, and a healthy amount of self-importance. What I did not have in the beginning was an understanding of what it cost a 50-year-old to walk through the door. Nobody wrote it in the training manual. I learned it by watching. A girl would ask a question about a friend. The friend was herself. A boy would ask a technical question about biology. The real question underneath was fear. Our work was to answer the question asked, then stay long enough for the true question to arrive. Those young people also cured me of an assumption. I arrived believing my job was to correct wrong information. I left understanding my job was to make it safe to be wrong out loud. Nobody learns while defending themselves. 30 years later, the young man from the center at Alolo is standing in front of as a guest speaker at the 59th anniversary lecture and launch of the BBAG's 60th anniversary. Hold both pictures in your mind tonight. Everything I'm going to say lives in the distance between them. The first lesson BBAG taught me was the smallest and the most durable. Sometimes the strongest thing you offer a young person is accurate information and one safe person to talk to. No budget line captures it. No lottery measures it well. It changes lives all the same. I went on to work on the Young Wise project, coordinating sexual radio broadcasts, the hotline counseling, and the distribution of educational materials. 3 different doors in the same room. Radio taught me privacy. A young person could listen alone with a volume low, and nobody in the house needed to know what she was listening. The hotline taught me distance. Give a frightened person a telephone line and a little anonymity, and courage arrives. Read taught me repetition. A leaflet stays in the pocket and gets read again at midnight, long after the counselor has gone. Privacy, distance, repetition. Everything I've done since rests on those 3 things. Then people did something I've never forgotten. The association handed young people real responsibility. I sat on the Greater Accra Programs and Youth Committee. I chaired the Youth Advisory Board of the Innovate Project and helped evaluate it in 2001. The work later took me to IPPF youth meetings in London, New Delhi, and Nairobi, and to the chair of the Africa Youth Alliance Youth Advisory Board. Notice the verbs: sat, chaired, evaluated, not attended, not observed, not sat quietly at the back and clap at the right moment. PBAG did not put me in those rooms because I was exceptional. PBAG put me there because the association had decided young people belong in the rooms where decisions about young people are taken. So here's my first decision for this anniversary. When an institution trusts young people with responsibility, it does not only serve young people, it manufactures the leaders it will need 20 years later. BBAG has been running leadership factory for 6 decades. And I'm not sure the association is always giving itself credit for it. Enough about me. Let me focus on the association. BPHG was founded in 1967. For almost 6 decades, this association has been a leading provider and advocate for sexual and reproductive health and rights in Ghana, providing family planning, reproductive health education, maternal health, HIV prevention, gender equality, youth participation decisions, and influencing national policies and programs. Sexual and reproductive health and rights is a heavy phrase. So let me put it plainly. It means a young person understands how he should have own body brings. It means a couple decide whether and when to have a child, and how many include the spacing between the children. It means a mother survives childbirth, and a baby survives the first month. It means a young man learns to protect himself and to respect somebody else's refusal. It means care reaches a person whether she lives in the street or at the end of a bad month. Health, information, and dignity, nothing more complicated. Let me refer to the record because we are quick to read things and slow with credit. Ghana has moved. Subjects which emptied a staff room of conversation in 1996 are debated on national television today. Policies exist which advocates and argue for across decades, and previous fingerprints are on many of them. The work is not finished, and the unfinished part is not absolute. It has things. What happens to a young person with no reliable place to ask a question? She asks the internet at midnight, or a person or a friend who knows no more than she does. Rumor rushes into any space where information is absent. What happens when a community has no trusted service delivery point nearby? People do not stop having needs. They meet them badly later and at higher cost. What happens when a good policy exists on paper but never reaches the district where the need is sharpest? The policy becomes a success in Accra and a rumor everywhere else. What happens when young people are quoted in every report and consulted in none of the meetings? They stop believing the process and we use exact people whose choices we hope to influence. And what happens when the partnership produces a communique and no follow-up? We hold a lovely event, we take a good photograph, and the young person at the end of the bad week waits another year. Picture a girl of 16 in a farming community. This is not a case for my files. It's a situation many of you will describe better than I could. She has heard 3 explanations of the same thing from 3 people. The next facility is a long and costly journey. The staff there are kind, but she's afraid of meeting her own auntie in the queue. Her phone offers 100 answers and no way to sort the truth from the false. Nothing in the situation was caused by a shortage of good intentions. Every one of the problems sits inside a system we designed. Which brings me to partnership. I spent my working life in the power center, that's ECG. And the visit taught me a hard lesson about systems. Light does not reach a home because of one machine. It arrives through generation, transmission, distribution, metering, billing, maintenance, and a customer who trusts the service enough to pay for it. Every link belongs to somebody else. Break one and the room goes dark. The customer does not care which link failed. The customer knows one thing only: there's no light. Health works the same way. A healthy community is not a product of a clinic, it is a product of a team. So allow me respectfully to hand out a few assignments. To government, policy without a budget line is a fresh face. A project dies when the funding branch closes. A budget line survives a transfer, a reshuffle, and a change of offices. Put this work where the money is protected. To our government partners, fund the unglamorous things: salaries, supervision, transport, data systems, and the second year after the launch. anybody will fund the launch. To health professionals, your clinical standard is not in doubt. Your welcome is what a 60-year-old remembers. She will describe the receptionist to her friends for years, and they will decide whether to come based on what she tells them. To academia, give us the evidence in the form a minister reads on a Tuesday morning. 30 careful pages are a gift, but provide us with the evidence and practical steps to improve health delivery. To NIMBE and our religious leaders, you shape what a community accepts as normal and decent. No program succeeds in a community whose leaders were never consulted, and none of us should attempt it. One sentence of endorsement or approval from you protects a young person faster than any campaign of mine. To the private sector, your workplaces hold thousands of young women and men. Your distribution reaches communities, no project vehicle visits. Your marketing teams shift behavior better than most of our campaigns do. CSR, or corporate responsibility, does not have to be a check in a banner. Give us logistics, your data, your shelf space, and your staff time. To my colleagues in the media, a word from one of your own: failure is easier to sell than a system working quietly. But the courage which changes Ghana is a patient kind. The follow-up nobody's applause. They return to a district 6 months later to ask what happened after the launch. And to all of us together, partnership is not a group photograph. A photograph is easy, and we are all photogenic. Some of us more than others. Real partnership is a boring document. It names who does what, by when, with close money and who reports back. Who need to outlive the two officers who started it? Nobody takes a photograph of a webinar. Sign one anyway. These things make it good. Resources, expertise, trust, accountability, community, knowledge, and staying power. The last is the rest. Communities remember projects which arrived with fanfare and left without explanation and trust. Once spent is expensive to buy back. A word now about communication, because it is the least understood part of this book. Information alone changes little. A person acts on information for 3 reasons. 1, when she understands it. 2, when she trusts whoever gave it to her. And 3, when she believes acting is within her power. Understanding, trust, and agency. Remove one of the 3 and your beautiful campaign becomes liberation. The environment has changed beyond recognition since 1996. Our reach then was a radio rebroadcast, a telephone line, and a stack of printed materials. Today, a young person carries a broadcasting station in his pocket. He received 40 answers before breakfast, and nobody told him which one to trust. The tools are new, but human need. Bad information does not win because it is clever. It wins because it arrives first, speaks plainly, and sounds like somebody who cares. It uses a language and does not make her feel foolish for asking. Our answer is not to shout louder. Our answer is to arrive earlier, speak plainly, and sound like people who care. You hold one advantage Jerome Mill will never have. We are telling the truth, and the truth survives follow-up questions. And we are not in the persuasion business. We are in the trust business. Persuasion moves a person once. Trust brings her back with a sister. Information is power. Trust is the bridge. Not the bridge first, but the one sits on the wrong bank of the river. So what should the next 50 years be about? If the next 50 years were about, if the past 60 years were about building a movement, the next 60 years must be about building a system. A movement depends on committed people. A system keeps working when the committed people are tired, transferred, or retired. Treat young people as partners, not beneficiaries. A beneficiary receives, a partner decides. Continue to put them on boards, on design teams, on budget committees, and on evaluation panels, with work which carries consequences. When they get it wrong, correct them the way you correct the colleague, not the child. When they get it wrong, correct them the way you correct the colleague, not the child. Measure access by the hardest place, not the easiest. Any program looks wrong in Accra, judge it by the district we usually explain away. Let innovation be a solved problem, not a new application. A shorter queue is innovation. A commodity a woman affords is innovation. A clinic open at the hour a working woman is free is innovation. If it does not shorten the distance between a person and the help she needs, it is a pilot. And Ghana has enough pilots, staff, and help people. Communicate where people already are, in the language you already speak, through the people you already believe, not where it happens to suit us to got us. And keep the door open for government. This is the one I feel most strongly about, and you know why. Let me ask one question. I've avoided for years. What if the center at Ayadodo had not been there? I would have probably still have found work, but I would not have learned in my 20s how to sit with a frightened person and not flinch, or how a small organization ends its place in the community. One honest conversation at a time. Whatever I've built since rests on the foundation laid inside a youth center by an organization which decided a young volunteer was worth its time. So the question for tonight is not about me. Somewhere in Ghana, a young person will stand near a door, exactly the way the shy one stood in our center, waiting to see whether it is safe to come in. He has the ability, he has the courage, he lacks the invitation. How many of these young boys and girls are waiting? And what are we doing about it? My challenge to PPAG and to every institution in this room is to keep building rooms where a young person is allowed to learn, allowed to ask an uncomfortable question, allowed to say, allowed to live, allowed to try something new, allowed to fail without disgrace, allowed to grow, and one day allowed to come back and hand it to somebody else. Give them real work, not decoration, not a photograph, not 2 minutes at the end of the program when important people are already left. I began this evening in 1996 in the Dusty Schoolyard with a young man pretending to be confident and a 50-year-old by the door decided whether to track him. Tonight, the young man is way around the edges and standing in front of you. Let me be clear about this because it is easily misread. I am not the achievement. I am the evidence. The achievement belongs to the volunteers, the counselors, the nurses, the trainers, the drivers, and the staff of this association across 6 decades who kept opening doors without knowing who walked through them and without any guarantee of thanks. As we launch the 60th anniversary and waiting to start celebration next year, let us not celebrate 60 years as survival. Any institution survives if it is careful enough. 60 years matter for a different reason. It is 60 years of the belief that when a person understands his or her own life and the impact of choices available, that person will make an improved life decision. Better decisions build healthier families, and healthier families build stronger communities. And the stronger communities are the only foundation Ghana has for the future we keep promising ourselves. 60 years is not a trophy, it's a debt, and it falls due tonight. So do not count the years, count the doors, count the ones that the association has opened since 1967. Then look at the young people in this room and count the ones we are prepared to open next. Congratulations, PPAG, on years of honest work. Now let us go and open the next one. Thank you and good evening.
A very loud call to everyone gathered here. There was a message for everyone gathered here. Volunteers, service delivery agents, partners, CSRs, and donors. There was a message for everyone. And I hope that we'll keep that message at the back of our minds as we transition to our 60th anniversary. Before I call on our chairperson to give us her highlights, I would like to recognize the presence of some few patrons and dignitaries. I would like to humbly recognize the presence of NPC, Madam Angelina Kune Kodria Nyana. Please forgive me. We also like to recognize
restaurants. I was trying to understand what this means. But of course, we are calling on development partners, we are calling on government. This is what he says, that you have to add a budget to the policy to make the interventions work. And especially to the development partners, do not fund the lunch, fund the staff who go to work every day to do the work. Because if they are not funded, the work will not be done. We may gather here and have a beautiful evening, but certainly the child somewhere, the young person somewhere who needs the information more than the lunch we are having here will still be cut off. He calls on politicians. He calls again on health professionals. He calls on academicians, NIME, and I believe the NAME and PAT, the private sector, and your corporate social responsibility, and the media. And one thing that he admonishes all of us is that the partnerships we are building is not a group photograph. We are building partnership for a future for the young people of this country. He gives us 6 things, of which 3 rest with me. Resources, we definitely need them. We need the trust, because if someone cannot trust their resources to you, and you do not provide good accountability, trust will be broken. Finally, he talks about communication and its importance. If you receive the information, how you understand and digest the information and carry it on also depends on how the information is communicated. He charges PPAG, keep the door open for volunteers. If PPAG ever has an understanding that we are going to close the door should be left open. 60 years of understanding and belief and making better decisions. Count the doors, count the ones we have prepared to go through the door. I believe that I have been able to summarize his key. The speech was not mine to summarize, but as the chair, I believe I have done some good, that those who did not hear, those who walked in late, or those who have found the words very packed, we can unpack them at this point. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please let's give it up. Oh, very good. I'm excited to share that we have come to the end of the very first phase of our gathering, and we are transitioning to the second phase of tonight's event. Please let's clap for ourselves. I would like to again recognize the presence of some few dignitaries. Please bear with me with the names. We have in our midst Alhaji Halidu Haruna, the CEO for Zongo Development Fund. Back home, we have in our midst our acting executive director, Mr. Abel Akasim. And we have in our midst also our director of programs and service delivery, Mr. Emmanuel Kukanta. Right. Some few partners in our midst. We have Youth Advocacy, Madame Vin Annan, Mary Stokes International Youth Advisory Board, Praise Ofori, Youth Desk, Ghana AIDS Commission. We have the Ministry of Health, Ghana AIDS Commission, Children and Youth in Broadcasting, Curious Minds, Mr. Kinsley Obinchure. We have Curious Minds, Samuel Kwe. We have Samen Foundation. We have Ghana Disability Association. Ghana Association.
Community and Family Aid Foundation Ghana. Day 20 creation and Scott TV. Before I introduce the next speaker, I would like to take a music interlude. Woo.
All right. Let's recognize the president, Yakubu Rashida, DPHE Council member. Thank you for coming. Right. Before we transition or zoom into the next half of the event, I would like to invite our very own chairperson, or no, forgive me, our very own president. Our president is a volunteer. He also rose through the ranks. He was once a volunteer, a young person, and currently works with EcoBank Ghana as the customer experience manager. And we are happy to have him speak to us and also lead us to launch the 60th anniversary. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our president, Mr. Gideon.
Good evening, Madam Chairperson. I stand on all the protocols already established and observed safe. Whilst our guest speaker was giving the lecture, it reminded me of all the experiences that we've had together all these years. And no wonder the presentation was apt and exactly what it reflects in terms of the achievement and the impact DPG has had over the past few years. Today, we honor almost six decades of service, advocacy, and commitment to health and well-being of Ghanaians. For almost 60 years, PPHE has stood as a beacon of hope, ensuring that reproductive health and rights are not privileges, but fundamental entitlements and rights. We have expanded access to family planning and sexual reproductive health services across communities. We have also empowered young people's knowledge, breaking cycles of misinformation and stigma. And our guest speaker and myself are examples and a testimony to that event. We have also partnered with government, civil society, international allies to strengthen Ghana's health system. This legacy is not about numbers said, but lives that have been transformed. With mothers who our guests we can make justice to the team already. But the team being healthy, extra lives, stronger communities, empowering Ghana's future is not just an aspiration, it is a call to action. Healthier lives means ensuring every Ghanaian has access to quality, productive health services, regardless of location or income. Stronger communities are built when women and men alike can make informed choices, free from discrimination or barriers. Empowering Ghana's future requires us to invest in young people, and that's what the call from our guest speaker. Equip young people with knowledge, confidence, and opportunities to lead. But the road ahead is what is important. 55 years ago, the founding fathers had a dream. We have not departed from that dream. However, what calls on us and beckons us to what can we do for the next decade, and what demands of us in 60 years to come. As we look forward to the next 60 years and prepare towards the actual anniversary, three things come to mind. One, innovation in service delivery. How can we harness digital tools to reach the undeserved and underserved population? Two, partnerships for sustainability. Clearly, we cannot continue depending on our goodness. But how can we work hand in hand with government, private sector, and communities in providing these assured services? And three, youth leadership. Giving every young person not just a seat at the table, as our guest speaker said, but the power to shape policy and practice. As we launch PPH's 60th anniversary, we are not only celebrating our history, we are using this milestone to take practical action, strengthen partnerships, and leave a legacy that will endure beyond the anniversary year. The anniversary program will be guided by the following major activities. 1. PPH will undertake a PPH assisted health caravan, a national health caravan that will bring quality sexual reproductive health information services closer to the communities across the country. Through mobile and community-based outreaches, we will organize and prioritize rural, peri-urban, and hard-to-reach communities with family planning services, youth-friendly counseling, HIV and STI education and referrals, gender-based violence support, maternal health education, and other essential services. Second, we will be organizing a national youth SRHR leadership summit to bring young people together, students, leaders, peer educators, disability advocates, health professionals, youth-led organizations, and policymakers. We believe that the summit will create a space for young people to speak directly about the barriers they face and to propose practical solutions on adolescent health, consent, digital safety, menstrual health, misinformation, healthy relationships, and access to friendly services. Third, PPH will also launch a 60 Stories of Impact campaign aimed at preserving and sharing the stories of individuals and volunteers, staff, partners, and communities whose lives have been touched and impacted by PPH over the past 60 years. Through documentaries, radio, and TV discussions, short digital videos, and commemorative publication being led by our own two patrons, Mr. John Fia and Prof. Francis Osudakon, among other things, including photo exhibitions. This publication is supposed to give us what we have achieved for the past 50, 60 years. We will also ensure that all storytelling is undertaken ethically, respectfully, and with appropriate consent and safeguarding. Fourth, we will also convene a national policy dialogue series on urgent sexual reproductive health issues and bring together government, parliament, Ghana Health Service, civil society, health professionals, and traditional leaders, young people, academia, development partners, and the media. There are a lot of things that are still on the table to discuss, and all stakeholders must come to that table for us to have a more focused discussion and providing solutions as such. The fifth thing we'll also be doing during the 50th anniversary is to introduce a PPH Assisted Innovation Challenge and invite young people, researchers, health workers, social entrepreneurs, and technology developers to propose practical solutions to sexual reproductive health barriers. The challenge will prioritize access to information for persons with disabilities, data counseling and referral system, menstrual health innovations, community solutions to teenage pregnancy, and approaches to counter health misinformation online. Selected innovators will receive visibility, mentorship, and support to pilot the promising ideas. The same, but not the last, among all other things that we will be doing during the 60th anniversary, we will culminate in the PPH 60th anniversary gala, awards and legacy fund launch. The occasion will honor individuals and institutions that have helped build PPH's legacy, including long-serving staff, volunteers, youth champions, community leaders, media organizations, development partners, and supporters. The PPH Assisted Legacy Fund will seek to support a sustainable initiative beyond the anniversary year. The fund will help strengthen friendly services, support mobile community outreach, and expand access to trusted digital information and counseling, and promote more inclusive sexual reproductive health services for underserved populations. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is a call for us, which was also echoed by our guest speaker. Even as we launched the 60th anniversary, PPH began with a journey rooted in the conviction that every person deserves information, services, and freedom to make informed decisions about their sexual and reproductive health. That's 6 decades ago, that conviction remains as important as it is today. It has not changed. Perhaps there's more to that dream that we all have a part to play. As we celebrate our past, we commit ourselves to the future also. A future where services are accessible, where young people are empowered, where communities are informed, where health rights are respected, and where no one is left behind, including the boy child. Most often than not, we hear of the girl child, leaving behind those who have the responsibility to ensure that the girl child is well protected, and that is the boy child. It is therefore my singular honor to invite some few people, including our patrons, as we officially launch the 60th anniversary. Let me also invite the arts executive director. And finally, Mr. Alidu. Please kindly join us. May I have my own friend, Doc? Please join us.
Charlie.
Ladies and gentlemen, This is our 60th anniversary logo. The young person who is a member of the young won the design without AI interventions. So congratulations to Prince, if he is here. Prince, happy Prince Omega. All right, so these are some of the opportunities we would like young people to be quite innovative with in that search. Thank you so much.
Please, let's give it up. Right, thank you so much. I think it's a beautiful logo. Yeah. So move on to quickly take solidarity messages and commitments from partners present here. We would like to start with Ghana Health Service. Please, let's give them. Take a remark from NPC. Then after NPC, we'll have GAC. Ghana Exhibition. After GAC, take NACP. Thank you so much, Ghana Health Service. Good evening, once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening. All right. So I stand here to represent the Ghana Health Service and the Director General of the Ghana Health Service. So I'll give the address on behalf of the Director General Ghana Health Service. So, Madam Chair, the Chairman and members of the National Council of the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, the Executive Director and Management of PhD, our distinguished guest speaker, representatives of Ghana development partners and civil society organizations, our colleagues from the health sector, members of the media, distinguished guests, and men, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to be here this evening on behalf of the Ghana Health Service, and I'm particularly honored to convey greetings and best wishes from the Director General on this significant occasion. Today is not simply about marking the passage of time, it is an opportunity to recognize an institution whose work has intersected with some of the most important questions facing Ghanaian families and communities. When to have children, how to protect our health, how to equip young people with accurate information, and how to ensure that information and how to ensure that people can make informed decisions about their productive lives. For the Ghana Health Service, these are not abstract issues. They are directly connected to the health outcomes we seek to achieve every day. The partnership between the public health system and organizations such as BPA is therefore important. Government cannot and should not be expected to do everything alone. Strong health systems are built through purposeful partnerships with communities, professional bodies, civil society, development partners, academia, and organizations that have earned the trust of the populations they serve. As BPAG approaches its 60th anniversary, I believe the most important question is to not only what we have achieved, but also what does Ghana need from us next. Our population is changing,
The aspirations of young people are changing. The health challenges confronting families are changing. Technology is changing how people obtain information and interact with health services. At the same time, inequalities in access to quality healthcare remains a concern. These realities require us to think differently. We must move beyond simply making services available to ensuring that people can actually access, understand, trust, and use those services. We must listen more closely to communities. We must invest in adolescents and young people. We must strengthen prevention. We must use evidence to guide our decisions, and we must ensure that innovation translates to services that make a meaningful difference in people's lives. This is where tonight's team, Healthier Lives, Stronger Communities, Empowering Ghana's Future, becomes particularly significant. The word empowering deserves our attention. A healthy population is not created by only hospitals, medicines, and health professionals. It is also created when people have knowledge, confidence, opportunities, and the ability to participate in decisions that affect their health. For Ghana's future, that means giving our young people the tools to make responsible and informed choices, supporting women and couples to plan their families according to their intentions, strengthening access to quality sexual and reproductive health services, and creating communities where accurate health information can compete successfully with misinformation. As we celebrate BPA's contribution over the years, I encourage the association to look ahead with ambition. The next chapter should be characterized by even stronger collaboration, greater innovation, deeper community engagement, and an unwavering commitment to reaching those who are difficult to reach. The Ghana Health Service remains committed to working with BPA and all our partners to advance the health and well-being of the people of Ghana. Our shared responsibility is to ensure that the gains we have made are detected, the gaps are addressed, and our health interventions remain responsive to the realities of the population we serve. On this occasion, therefore, I commend the leadership, staff, volunteers, partners, and all those who have contributed to BPA's journey. As we launch the celebrations towards us, the 60th anniversary, may this milestone serve not merely as a reflection of where BPA has been, but as a springboard for where it intends to go, and for the difference it intends to make in the lives of future generations of Ghanaians. On behalf of the Ghana Health Service, I wish BPA a successful anniversary year and a given more impactful future. Congratulations. Thank you for the invitation. Long live Ghana. Thank you.
Technical and Database Commission. Okay, we have Madame Patricia Anuda. Madame Patricia. Okay. Well, while we wait for her, I'd like to call on some few CSOs and new partners to also come give their solidarity messages. I'd like to call on Curious Minds, Mr. Kingsley Obenshire. And I will call on Ghana Disability Association as a view. Okay.
Very much. And please, I would like to stand on existing protocols. I can see Madam Chairman That one, I can say that one, and the rest be on existing protocols. I was very happy when I saw the invitation for this one. We even pushed it to the 60th immediately and not to talk about it in the 59th. I was pushing it to the 60th so that it would double what we, as the children and youth in Providence, Curious Minds, is also marking this year, our 30th anniversary. Anytime we talk about Curious Minds, sometimes the earlier members of PPH also talk about the fact that they were also members of Curious Minds. So there were times when it was quite a challenge to even know who was only with PPH or with Curious Minds. So at points in time, even though we are half the age, I should say, of PPH, at points in time with the young people, they behave like Siamese twins. And I shared the views of our guest speaker when he kept pushing that strong agenda that the youth should not be the people who are asked to say the final things when all the necessary people or the necessary protocols have been finished. And nobody seemed to listen to them, and they listen to themselves, and the cycle continues. He has come from the process, and he knows exactly what you are talking about. And for us who have seen the process over the years, we always believe that give the youth the chance, give them the support, and let them know that you believe in their ability to achieve. And the results are always remarkable. So on this occasion, as we mark the 59th towards the 60th, we want to congratulate PPH for having stood firm all over these years. While it was a challenge in the past for young people to get the information, with some piece of misinformation, you can see that now it is a wide expanse of misinformation and disinformation. And it is being helped by the internet that is also supposed to support that same effort of giving clarity in terms of information. So it means that we are just about beginning the process all together, looking at emerging challenges that we find presently. So we are always happy when we have partners who are committed to that cause, especially when in the past we promised ourselves with the Millennium Development Goals. I would say we failed, and we didn't achieve what we wanted. We put it in the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. And yet, presently, as we speak, right from the UN level, we are beginning to talk about the post-sustainable development goals. It means that whatever we seek to achieve, there is always a mile ahead of us to do so. But how can we do it? Committing to young people, and importantly, adding the budgets to them, as we mentioned. If we are able to do it well, then it means we shall make progress. We live in a country where it has become a challenge to even sometimes speak about reproductive health, and where it has moved from the offices that dissipated the people immediately when it's mentioned, now we find it being discussed. But how do we make it a relevant discussion that supports everybody and everyone? Because even those who don't want it spoken about will call silently and say, my child, I need somebody to talk to. And the experts in the field are aware, always being asked to go and support one child or the other. We don't want them to be given what is being called the laptops and then taken away. And as mentioned in the poem before long, there is a long stomach before I flow. Otherwise, those songs will continue and it is here away because there is no crop, there is nothing, still play comments. Well, we have taken the right steps, right action. There is something that one person who has been involved in reproductive health has spoken in the past. And I want to reiterate. It says that the country that does not want to develop is the one that has left its reproductive health issues. We don't want to leave it to chance. We need to plan. So when we have Planned Parenthood in times of my father's day, we are telling that when young people are well informed in their mates, that they are those who are carrying the effective messages. And those who don't even want to listen to the effective messages know that that those with the right information, those who are young but are still wise, are those who should afford it. So we say congratulations. Let's keep working together with all the partners, and we know we will succeed looking at the future.
We'd like to call on Ghana Disability Association, Mr. Samuel Azuri. Okay, we'd like to call on Salty Miss or Madame Beatrice Shine Ayo. Said someone has
I guess that has taken by surprise. I'm not sure I wanted to relate TB to the youth today. But I have to find my way to relate it. Thank you so much for the opportunity to make a sentence. I think we have a relationship with the PPH recently. Stopped in partnership. We are particularly happy because the youth indeed youthfulness brings tuberculosis indirectly. Because data is, I like the way you try to look into this kind of thing where the linkages are. Sex doesn't cause TB. And condoms don't prevent TB, but they indirectly prevent TB because most of the youth in our data, when you look at data, we are talking about between 25 to 25 years of age on TB. And we are wondering why a lot of the youth between that age are becoming TB positive and are being treated in this country. So working with PPAG would mean that it let the youth drive the narrative. What is making them to become HIV and therefore becoming prone to TB and die of HIV? What is making them go into alcoholism that end them up in immune degradation that end them up in TB? What is it that they are eating or drinking that is leading them to becoming immune deficiency and ending up with coughs that are becoming TB? So being here today, we are happy to associate. We are developing our in communication with the acting executive director. We've tried to put some collaborative strategies within the Global Fund DC8 to see how we connect the TB programming. So we are happy to participate in the system anniversary, and we are happy that stay and beyond Stopsy partnership will be part of the narrative. So, thank you.
I want to call on MSI Youth Advisory Board. Then after MSI, we call on African Ghana to give us their remarks.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to start on the existing protocols to say thank you so much for being here, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to stand here to say something.
And I believe that with everything that our leaders have said, is something we need to put into consideration when it comes to sexual and reproductive health and rights. We are more into women, and so we need to make sure that women are more focused on women's rights, are also what human rights. Sexual and reproductive health and rights is something that is really supposed to be looked into, and something that is not supposed to maybe shoo people away. Anytime you hear about sexual and reproductive health and rights, people begin to think maybe it's just about abortion or it's about contraception, but there's more to sexual and reproductive health and rights. As youth advocates, as volunteers, we need to stand our grounds and also to make sure that we counter anything that is anything that's not in the way of sexual and reproductive health rights. Let's stand as advocates and volunteers to stand firmly for sexual and gender-based violence to be reached and worked on everywhere we go. Thank you so much.
Ghana, but just to appreciate our speaker from the Ghana Stop TV, Mr. David. Hi, good evening to you all. My name is Habiba Abdullah, representing African Ghana today. As part of our solidarity message, we say happy 60th anniversary to PPAG. Today we celebrate 6 decades of courage, resilience, and transformation in sexual and reproductive health and rights. The visionaries of this movement, or this organization, stood to declare the bodily autonomy as a fundamental human right. So over the decades, you have fought against stigma, expanded healthcare access, and changed laws to ensure that everyone can make their own choices about their bodies, health, and futures. But this anniversary is more than a look back. It is a critical look forward. We are celebrating with you today at a time when global roadblocks threaten our hard-won progress. In this moment, we say solidarity is our greatest strength. We must stand together across generations, borders, and sectors. We must defend the rights already won, push for complete equality, and ensure that the next generation inherits a world where reproductive justice is a reality for everyone, everywhere. Thank you for your 60 years of fearless advocacy. We stand with you today, tomorrow, and for the next 60 years as well. Thank you. And it's a wrap. Please let's clap for ourselves. Before I call on our chairperson to give the closing remarks, I'd like to bring our attention to the following announcement. After this event, we're having our refreshments in this same building, so let's stay behind. After all this, if you are encouraged to join the moving train of volunteers, please, we are happy to onboard you. Submit your expression of interest to become a volunteer of the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, moving and changing volunteers. You can find the registration form on the website, or you can contact our governance officer, Miss Theophila. Please look behind the lady in yellow, and she'll give you all the information needed to be able to join and be a part of us. Thank you so much. We want to encourage you to be on the lookout for the program outlines or the activities lined up for the 60th anniversary. And we look forward that you join us in making this anniversary a memorable one. On that note, I want to thank you again and welcome to the podium, our chairperson.
What a beautiful event. Shall we give ourselves a good round of applause? We walked in and the room was almost full to its capacity. And as the time ran, the room is actually full. One of the events that I have attended that we have worked within time and ahead of time. Shall we give ourselves a round of applause? We arrived early. We have gone through all the ticks on the agenda, and we are here to close. Not closing for the day, not closing for another year, but a reflection of what we are going to carry with us into the next year, 60 years and beyond. Mr. Guest Speaker, your words on our commitment, opening the doors for the youth, keeping the doors open, ensuring that we are present and making every activity count has been touching to walk us into 60 years of existence and what lies ahead of us. We have listened to the president of PPHE talking about a list of activities that will be commemorating its 60th anniversary. It does not belong to PPHE as an organization, it belongs to all of us. What are you bringing on board? How can you support? They call on each and every one of us to commit, contribute, and make the event count. Not because we are participating, because we are marking the history for the next 60 years. The wheels of development grinds on, only powered by the willing. I look at this beautiful 60th anniversary logo, and it reminds me of how Ghanaian